The pick is in! The pick is in! Chili DeCastro got his butt whooped by a judge in California. Gaetani identifies Tormentor in controversial Twitter post. Christopher, per public safety reader, blames everyone else for his demonetization. Plus, a look at Chili DeCastro cruising the streets of Sin City. All this and more on this edition of Auditing Insanity. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Auditing Insanity newscast brought to you by ReallyCoolNews. I'm Jim Finch and I'll be your host for 4 big stories on Chili DeCastro, for public safety, Lindsay Gaetani, and more. We're running extremely late today, so just a quick reminder that on Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, we'll be hosting Chili DeCastro's Over the Hills celebration on our YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. on the West Coast. Plan to be there as we ask you to focus on... For Public Safety has channel demonetized. Christopher, for Public Safety reader, announced on his YouTube channel on Monday night that trolls and representatives of the government caused his YouTube channel to be demonetized, which resulted in no donations to his GoFundMe campaign. His latest video announcing his demonetization claimed that the government and his trolls have conspired to report his channel for terms of service violations and using content that does not belong to him, resulting in his demonetization. The reader claimed that YouTube informed him of the decision and asked him to make a 5-minute video refuting the accusations against him. He played most of that video as the bulk of his released video. The YouTuber explained that he used a series of paid applications that contained licensed music that was constantly being falsely flagged by YouTube as being in violation of copyright when he used them in videos. But he did nothing to refute any claims. He said that he has stopped using that music and replaced the music with sound effects in his most recent videos, giving his trolls nothing to report. He also claimed to be a newsmaker, appearing on news reports in his area to document negative interactions with the police. But a few instances of licensed music, easily removed using YouTube's tools, wouldn't lead to accusations by YouTube itself that his channel was reusing someone else's content. Reader half suggested that maybe he was being flagged because so many other channels use his videos, and maybe YouTube was being confused as to where the content originated from. Though, like with everything related to Reader and his channel in our experience, the rest of the video was headache-inducing, offering no real reasoning for the demonetization and placing the blame squarely on everyone else around him without taking any fault for his own actions. Which is why we don't tend to cover his stuff, including his endless war with Frauditor Wrangler and others. It's a simple and endless mess that doesn't result in a positive for anyone involved. Michael Blue Bacon Peratini's cover defense costs against a frivolous lawsuit campaign actually took the day for the GoFundMe race with a $150 donation, with her own ongoing expenses fund taking second place and a $60 take. On that note, since we're only partially monetized, if you'd like to keep us from making a tearful video about how nobody wants to throw money at us, or if you'd like to keep me writing this dreadful column each day, as we do have a GoFundMe of our own, all proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. DeCastro Late Night Livestream from Las Vegas. The darkened streets of Las Vegas were brightened by the presence of Jose Chili DeCastro's camera late Monday night as the hero to dozens and failed Power Ranger went for live from a traffic stop in the city. DeCastro seemed fascinated by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police DUI van, which had been driven by an officer who had pulled the car over. DeCastro, standing at least 10 feet from the crime scene, explaining that the officer knew him on sight and said, "What's up, Chili?" before he started the live stream. As he finished the stop, the officer again stopped to speak to DeCastro. He explained that the oversized vans, which are similar in size and shape to mobile blood donation vans, carry an officer and a phlebotomist as a team. The phlebotomist is on hand to draw blood on the scene of DUI arrests and is able to easily draw blood and process the blood for impairment levels without leaving the side of the road. With the growing use of legal non-alcoholic stimulants in the city, the use of a phlebotomist is preferred by Las Vegas police, since a blood draw can check for impairment that is not limited to alcohol. As of a 2022 report by Fox5Vegas.com, the phlebotomist services were provided by Sunshine Pathology Services and work with police nightly, but are not part of the police force itself. DeCastro was calm in his interaction with the police officer and asked if there were new policies in place to handle First Amendment auditors now that he's sued the city 3 times over. The officer wasn't aware of the lawsuits, but said that as long as DeCastro and others gave the officers a safe distance to work with, they shouldn't have a problem with filming. DeCastro bumped fists with the officer before the officer drove off, and DeCastro turned his attention to the occupants of the car that had been pulled over. The YouTuber explained his 5A cop card and trifold products. He said that not interacting with the police officer may have gotten the female driver incarcerated in this case, since she had to explain why she couldn't get her expired plate updated. Invoking her Fifth Amendment rights would normally serve her well in future encounters with police. DeCastro gave the driver and her passenger copies of his product before exchanging information with the passenger about an upcoming video shoot he had planned in Los Angeles. He said that he could use the passenger, a large jacked black man, in his upcoming series of videos. Please remember that while DeCastro doesn't seem to be holding a celebration for his birthday on Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, we'll be holding one for him on our Really Cool News YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. in the Pacific Time. Please stop by and have a ball at Chili DeCastro's expense. Gaetani identifies Broyles as Tormentor. Lindsay Gaetani identified Jason Broyles of Bristol, Connecticut as a predator who used an AI-generated image to pretend to be a woman named Haley Walbrecht who posted negative content about Gaetani on Twitter and other platforms. According to Gaetani's extensive article posted to her Twitter account, Broyles allegedly worked with Gaetani's former boyfriend, Aidan Turtleboy Kearney, in order to direct harassment at Gaetani and her children for the past few months using the Haley account. The fake account pretended to be an advocate for victims online who posted sensitive documents relating to Gaetani's children, along with articles and posts about Gaetani, taunting her and her family for months online before being apparently exposed by his target. Gaetani claimed that Broyles stalked every move that my children and I made for months. He shared my address, he had me under surveillance, and even taunted me by saying that he listened to the Medfield police scanner at night to soothe himself. Broyles, as Haley, also shared a non-public graphic report depicting an alleged of Gaetani by Kearney, changing the narrative in order to harass her and to disparage her claims. The report was sealed, and even Gaetani could not get a copy. It is alleged in Gaetani's reporting that Kearney helped Broyles obtain a copy of the report through his extensive police connections. Fans and friends of Kearney have rallied against the reporting by Gaetani, criticizing her for needing to be a victim and for allegedly fabricating the story to smear Kearney, her former romantic partner. They forgave Broyles' alleged use of fake identities to disparage Gaetani, as Gaetani and associates do the same thing to, quote, ruin others' lives because you hate yourself. Others questioned why Gaetani did not go to the police to report Broyles' actions, finding it suspicious that she made the accusations on Twitter without further action. Gaetani and Kearney briefly dated in the fall of 2023. Accusations that Kearney assaulted Gaetani late last year saw Kearney's bond revoked and the YouTuber spent 60 days in jail. Kearney allegedly admitting to having sex with Gaetani while she was drunk and could not consent. Gaetani declined to press charges at the time of the incident. While we do not take sides on most issues, an account purported to be that of Broyles was removed and permanently banned from the Really Cool Newswire Discord server early this morning. DeCastro decimated by Thursday court ruling. Thursday, September 5th, 2024 was a very bad day for Jose Chile DeCastro in California's Superior Court. If you believe the documents released by the court on Monday, that is. There are no other words to describe the day other than that. He avoided having his entire California Superior Court case against Michael Bluebacon Paratini being thrown out by the slimmest of margins. That margin? Wait for it. Paratini did not prove that Jose Chile DeCastro is a public figure. Okay, let's step back for a minute. There was a hearing last week for the motion for summary judgment posed by Paratini that went up against DeCastro asking for the case to continue. A motion for summary judgment essentially asked the judge to look at the case the plaintiff has made and the defense the defendant has put up so far and asked him to determine if the case needs to go to trial or if it can be decided right now. In this case, Paratini wanted the judge to look at the case as it applies to him and see if DeCastro has done enough to show that it could move forward to trial. We say that the case applies to Paratini as DeCastro never served Team Skeptic and didn't properly serve Daniel Clement, so they're defendants in the case in name only. Kate Peter was found to be in default because she never responded to service, but a default judgment has not been issued against her since we're not to that part of the case yet. Because of this, what happened on Thursday applies to Paratini. Judge H.J. Ford may decide to throw the case out against all the other defendants, but for now it's Paratini's arguments to have the case against him thrown out. And he was successful in having the judge say, hey, there's not enough here to go to trial on 7 of DeCastro's 8 charges against Paratini. DeCastro said that Paratini was an underling in Kate Peters' Masshole Troll Mafia, a nefarious real-world organization that has members, a board, a hierarchy, and should be treated like the real mafia. He said that this group terrorized him, stole his van, put Nutella, dog feces on his Airbnb's front door, and all sorts of fantastic things that caused him harm in the year 2022. On Thursday, the judge looked at the evidence, looked at Paratini's defense, and found that for someone who wanted to have justice served by the lawsuit, in all the months since filing the lawsuit way back in 2023, DeCastro has done nothing to advance his case or even prove his case. He had his chances. For example, he could have deposed Kate Peter or Paratini, or served Team Skeptic or Daniel Clement. While DeCastro blamed the delay on going to jail earlier this year, it didn't explain why he literally had over a year before that and did nothing. In fact, Judge Ford told him that it looked like DeCastro had no intention of doing anything to move the case to resolution. For details of the charges 1 through 7, I'll refer you to the included Second Amendment complaint that accompanies this article. Essentially, all the conspiracies and blather and blah blah blah, the judge looked at and said that DeCastro had no path forward. Charge 8, however, stands as it involves using DeCastro's likeness without his permission to make money. DeCastro is essentially saying that by using his image in a thumbnail to promote videos where DeCastro was discussed, Paratini caused damages to DeCastro. The judge found that Paratini did not prove that DeCastro is a public figure, which is a celebrity or a member of government who is well known enough where special rules apply to them compared to a normal citizen or a private figure. This one has got to hurt DeCastro's ego, as he's done nothing but tell his fans that he's known everywhere he goes, that even the people in jail knew him by his enormous fame, and that he cannot go in public without being recognized as a quasi-celebrity. Paratini failed because he tried to show that DeCastro was a celebrity due to the number of people who subscribe to DeCastro's YouTube channel and the number of views his content has received. So think of this as we close out this article. For Chile to win this point, and the remnants of the lawsuit, he has to show that he is unimportant, a normal person, a Joe Schmo like everyone else who is unworthy of special consideration as a future governor, internet celebrity, or influencer status. That's either going to kill him or kill the case. Not sure which will be harder on him, but it will be fun to watch as things play out. Neither Paratini nor DeCastro have made public comment on Thursday's ruling as of press time. And we're back. After all that drama, we deserve a nap, so that's where we're heading as we end another day. We'll be back up bright and early tomorrow morning to start writing another stellar edition of Really Cool News. Remember, tomorrow we'll be hosting Chile DeCastro's Over the Hills celebration on our YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 o'clock Pacific. Be there or be tubular!